how farmers used to lose their fingers in the day. Getting their Model T belts or
Another beautiful day in Havasu. After our dyno session yesterday, we lost the low band again in the transmission, so we stepped down on this pedal. I should lock the band in here, and I think the band has kicked off again. This car had that problem when I got it as well, so transmission's been a big problem on this car. Something's very wrong inside of it. Anyway, we were able to get dyno numbers, so we're going to start pulling the motor out. It's a possibility McKay will be here later today, so we'll get the radiator ripped off, the headlights out, the hood off, and then we have to lift the body up. I'll show you these motor mounts on a Model T. These right here have to go past this firewall, so you have to lift it up slightly and it has to slide forward. So that's kind of a difficult process. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. 3 bolts holds the motor in, we'll lift it out. So let's get started. Well, as I pick through it here, I've decided that I'm going to pull the firewall because the pedals are not going to clear the firewall there. The motor needs to kind of slide straight out for quite a ways, so there was only 2 bolts here and here. I'm going to lift that firewall off, steering column comes out, ignition box, everything. Plus I'm going to rebuild this steering column. This has a 4-to-1 steering ratio in it, and I'm going to put a 5-to-1 in it because they drive so much better, and do a little updating on this old Model T so that I can drive it. So let's get that pulled up. Just like that, the motor's out on the ground. Now this motor, this is a numbers matching engine. Numbers here is the same as the title, and right here is the date, 6/10 of 15. Now the cylinder head is not correct, 3/1 of 20. So it's got a later cylinder head, but the block is original. I'm not too worried about keeping this car original, but I will keep the original engine. I'll probably do something with it, maybe build it up later, make another engine for a spare. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna clean up all this rust, wire wheel this all out here, clean it up nice and paint it, make it look good, paint that front axle, get everything all addressed and looking really nice, and then get ready to put the new motor in. And we'll be back on the dyno probably early next week and see if we made our 10 extra horsepower. Our goal, I guess, is 23 to 25. Well, been at it quite a while now. Got the body back on. I'm getting ready to put the firewall back in. But what I'm doing, getting ready to convert this over to a 5-to-1 ratio. So I'm gonna pull this shaft out. I'm gonna switch it with one of the other cars. I have one other car that has a 5-to-1 ratio. They just drive so much better. Because I'm gonna drive this car a lot, I want the 5-to-1 steering ratio. So let's get that swapped out. Well, another beautiful morning. Got the front end back together, got the engine all tidied up, got a little bit of water dripping, but I think that's just cold leaks. We'll get it hot, them hoses will settle in. This one here never used to leak, and now it's leaking. It's just what happens when you take stuff apart, it ends up leaking. Got the 5-to-1 ratio steering gear in. It's time to see if it'll start. I know one thing, it's really tight. The motor is really tight. Whew, it's hard to turn. Oh, no way. No way. No way did that start that easy. No way. Well, other than the belt has got so much water on it, it's not turning. Farmers used to lose their fingers in the day. Getting their Model T belts are it's working so good yesterday when I put it on, and now it's tight, doesn't want to turn. There we go. We'll get her warmed up eventually. Oh yeah, now we're spinning. Cooking with gas. A little full of heat. Settle down. So I put a water pump on it because we're here in the desert. It's actually circulating too. It looks good. So hopefully that helps keep her cold. Look at that intake. That is ice on that intake. well, it's developing now. McKay showed up from the land of helicopters.
Yay. Back from work.
Dude, I could have used you yesterday.
Back in the real world.
I had a fan blade that wasn't tracking correctly. Anyway, we're trying to work on the tailpipe. I was really hoping McKay would have been here to start it, but it started almost the first crank, so. It's enough weld for me. So I was able to search around the old interweb and I found a video of some old guys dynoing a Model T on an original old mechanical dyno. And these guys run this car, they ran it pretty hard, and it made 12 horsepower. 12.7, so we made 13.1, so I'm thinking our numbers are right on the money. The pound-feet of torque, they didn't really give a pound-feet of torque, but I think we were around 90 on our final pull, so yeah. Brian's dyno's right on the money compared to that old mechanical one, so we'll see what happens. Let's see what it sounds like, okay? Let's turn some of that and give it just a little bit of that. Battery.
It's a hard starter.
Wrong one. Wrong one. Yeah, it starts real easy. So this is the motor we built that's cammed up, high compression, got aluminum pistons in it. Got an extra 10% of holding pressure on direct. It's probably going to need it. Sounds good. Rev's really good. Rev's like a Model A.
Here, I'll get the door for you.
Yeah, thanks for getting the door for me. Other than that, I think it's success. I think the old door slammer runs pretty good.
We had to be 30, 35 mile an hour.
Well, Brian and I had it going 40 down London Bridge Road, and we had it going faster than Brian and I had it going, so.
All right.
Yeah, it feels pretty good.
Yeah, we were clipping right along.
Reverser
pedal. Tight.
Yeah, it feels pretty good, but maybe we'll give it a click just for fun. Yeah, maybe not. This brake?
That one's about ready to fall off.
Yeah, the brake is rather not good. That was probably why it stuck to the floor, is because it ain't got no
spring pressure.
Ain't got no tensions to it.
Ain't got no spring in it.
Relax in its position. That's the reverser. That's low. Well, now, $4,900 question is if it'll start, or if you can turn it over. We don't need to start it. We'll just see how well it turns over.
good.
I think we're all right. We'll bolt this back on and then make sure our floor is clearing. Give it another try.
Some clearance on the floor.
Yeah, so the brake pedal was bent over a little. It was pushing the floorboard over against the other two pedals. So in essence, it was binding all three. I might have to grind that a little, McKay.
The cover?
It's the cover. Yeah, I'm gonna have to grind that cover just a little. Hits the brake pedal. See, this is out of that hot rod motor that didn't have a brake pedal in it. Howdy. Ooh, the brakes feel good now.
Pop a wheelie.
Felt like he did pop a wheelie. We're headed uphill right now. Wide open. Picking up speed. We're still climbing. Still turning. The homemade belt's working. We got just about perfect temperatures, probably about 180.
This looks pretty impressive, dude.
Yeah, pretty jazzed how the little motor turned out. So yeah, high compression head, camshaft.
When we towed this out of that garage on the other side of town, if you would have told me we'd be going 50 miles an hour in the thing before the end of the summer,
You'd have laughed. You'd have said no way.
Crazy.
It's a hoot. It's a fun little car. We'll take it to lunch and see how she runs. Break this motor in a little. I can't wait to roll it on the dyno again and actually see how much horsepower this motor actually makes. So when you own an old car like this, the rich people, they got to drive. So I'm driving. McKay, he's the mechanic. He's the one that has to start it, see? So I turn the key on and then he starts it, and I just enjoy the fruits of the starting, the running. Maybe. Now, you always take your mechanic with you because you never know when this thing is going to be broke down again. Well, it's another beautiful morning in Havasu. Got the Model T 1915 with the new motor. Going to meet my buddy Brian Macy over at the dyno. We're going to run this new motor and see how she does. I've got a few miles on it now. Got it loosened up, so let's get started. Rattle and roll. We are on the dyno. Let's get her strapped in. So back here with Brian, horsepower connection, the EFI store, the FE store.
Well, we got
come over here and look at this, Brian.
we got some massive horsepower this time.
Dude, we got some vintage performance parts.
Woo.
Like we put a water pump on it.
Okay,
We got high compression aluminum head.
I see that.
We got high flow intake. This is a split dual exhaust. And then we got the big NH Holley carburetor on it. That's a Holley. That's
wow.
not to be confused with your Effies.
Rochester.
Yeah, but it's got a camshaft in it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got LS valves in it.
It's got LS valves in it.
LS exhaust valves through the whole
Wow.
motor, adjustable lifters, and then we took the cast iron pistons out.
What is that?
What was what?
What is this? What is this? What is this right here?
That's sweat.
Is that sweat?
It's sweat. This thing works hard now. It sweats.
Okay.
It's if there's none coming out of it, there's probably none in it. I don't know, Brian. I tried so hard to seal this motor. I glued every little nook and cranny. These covers, I'm gonna have to glue them on. They
Yeah.
just
Oh,
run. They just run oil out.
It's not that bad, really.
Well, it hasn't blown too much out, but going up the hill, it kind of blows a little out. But anyway, it runs nice and cool now. It's a different car to
I
drive.
bet. I'm gonna have a ride now.
McKay and I got 53 miles an hour out of it.
That's gotta be sketchy.
Yeah, McKay was laughing. He was like, no way. Anyway, we're so the pistons in these are cast iron. We took the cast iron pistons out and put aluminum in. That changed the way the motor.
Oh, I bet.
It revs. It actually revs out now, but we put big exhaust on it, and I don't know. It may or may not make any more power, but
But it feels like it.
13 was kind of sketchy. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know how we drove it, but let's I'll get a strap on here. I think I want to pull the hood off, and then we'll roll it a little bit. It's actually not even that warm. It came down the hill pretty chilly, but I think I want to do a dyno run the way it is, and then I want to pop the belt off, and we'll do one with no belt on it. I want to see if the water pump and the fan actually take any power out of it.
I'm sure they do.
Well, there was the first pull. The torque's a little rougher on it. But we just made 36 horsepower with our hot rod Model T. All right, we're getting ready to do a pull on this thing. Whoops. Okay. It's T. All right, we're gonna do our dyno pull on this hot rod. Are you ready?
Yeah.
See what we made. 36 horsepower. 41 foot-pounds torque. So we're down on torque with this motor, but we're up on our horsepower, and it feels it.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
Yeah, this has a cam in it, so it changed quite a bit. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna pull the belt off, and we're gonna do one more pull. So now we've pulled the belt off. I've just got to lay it down there. We are going to make another pass. So get some timing in it. See what we made with no belt. What did it make before? Did it make a little more?
Same.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a different car. So we'll finish breaking in the motor now that we've whipped it on the dyno, and try to fix up some of our sweat marks, oil leaks.
So is
Yeah, just a couple old guys out cruising in an old car, having some fun. We're gonna go find some lunch. We just came off Brian's Dyno. We didn't break no records today, but I don't know.
No, but
we
we
almost broke the lowest four-wheel record
Yeah,
with the original motor.
we made some good power though. We made a lot more.
Yeah, we made an improvement, so that made Brian smile.
I was surprised.